Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to this video. We are going to see in the 3-month mark from whenever you choose this reading, what opportunities and blessings are coming for you, what opportunities of growth are coming in for you as well. So we have pile number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure to choose your reading with your intuition. If you're not sure how to engage it, the video in the ribbon above will walk you through it. And once you've made your choice, the timestamps are present in the comments and the description box from where you can choose your reading. So whenever you're ready, we'll get started. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's get into it and see what are these opportunities of growth and prosperity coming towards you in the coming 3 months. So what's coming through for pile number 1, please? What's shifting, what's growing, what's expanding for them in the near future in 3 months? Now these can be things connected with what you're already doing, or it can be something new that's coming about in your life as well. Let's see what comes through. Not feeling my best self today, so I'm not going to push too hard. Let's just keep it simple and see what comes through. Okay, so we have Fearless Expression, card number 55. Nourish the Sacred Feminine, 18. Integrate Your Knowing, card number 9. So we have 2 9s coming through. And we have Raw Intention, card number 22. So 2 repeating numbers coming about here, 5 5, 2 2, and then we also have 9. So this essentially is talking about certain changes coming about with regards to your relationships or how you relate with certain aspects of your life, which brings you more peace. So look at, where do you feel stifled at this time? Where do you feel as though there can be a little bit more flow in your life? Where do you feel like you have had experiences but maybe don't yet know what to do about them? Those are the things that are changing and giving you a broader perspective of, okay, well, this is what happened. I understand why that was. I understand the purpose now, and I can move forward in a much more cohesive manner. The raw intention is giving me the vibe that you are listening to your own inner voice much more effectively as well. Your intuition is sharper, clearer, louder, and you know how to tune into that voice. And from that place, you are taking action towards creating more prosperity. The Nourish the Sacred Feminine is talking about receptivity. Meanwhile, Raw Intention talks about the action. The receptivity, proactivity are being balanced in a very beautiful way. And with this Integrate Your Knowing card, you can see that there's like this rays of light that are coming out from the head of that fox, which indicates that you know what to do with yourself. You know when to push, when to stop, when to speak, when to not. These are very, fine lines, and it's easy to get them wrong. So it's interesting that, your decisions, your past experiences are informing how you decide your own boundaries. But whatever you're deciding for yourself, it looks like it's bringing you more peace and connectedness with yourself, your relationships, and your surroundings. What else is coming through? What's growing, shifting, and expanding? There can be certain speech events that you could be invited to, certain presentations you're giving, and you might be initially a little bit nervous or unsure about whether you're doing the best, or are you presenting it in the best way or not. But you put in the work as a result of that fear. That's a very nice way to transmute fearful states into a state of fearlessness, and you are therefore creating a sort of impact to your populace, your audience, to your bosses, wherever it is that this presentation is happening. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be only talking. It can be, writing as well. So if you're a blogger or you prefer to write instead of speak, then that's something you're doing. Maybe switching up your style so that you feel like it's more adapted to the person you are becoming now. You're taking into account your own personal evolution, and you're putting that into practice. Okay, in more ways than one is something I hear. It's not just one area of life that is improving. and there is improvement. There's change, but there is definite improvement here. Because we have the nines here, something that has been ongoing is kind of coming to a close, and it's the last call or the final push, the final call in order to give your best and just let it be. Okay. All right. What else is coming through? You might be given an opportunity to say what you want to a mother figure or to your close personal relationships. What else coming through for pile number 1, please? Is growth and opportunities. All right. We have card number 8 coming up, which is all about that scorpionic energy, deals with transformation. We have Jupiter here, which says luck, growth, expansion, optimism, and understanding. So yes, if you're in that guiding or the teaching position, you could be the one giving a lecture, or you might be a guest lecturer and you feel compelled to do a very good job. Alternatively, this can be you speaking with a guide or a mentor figure. It can be a counselor as well, with whom you're opening up and you are kind of open to receiving any insights and guidance from the other side, which of course helps you grow yourself. And Jupiter is the planet of opportunities and divine opportunities at that, so you're being protected from things that will lead you astray or will not lead you to the path of your highest fulfillment. But the 8th house says that you are working with your shadows, so your hidden talents as well, and you're not giving into fear and insecurities throughout this journey. All right, let's see. We have the 11th house, which is dealing with your audience. Some of you could have like a social media account that you're very active in. Being an influencer is part of that sector as well. If you have your own business, this deals with your finances from it. The 8th house deals with shared resources. So if you're dealing with, other people's money, certain investments you've already made, you might be seeing certain returns, or you're having some conversations with more experts who are well versed in this area so that you can set yourself up in a firm footing moving forward. Now, the 11th house also, it talks about your network and your humanitarian perspective. So you might feel compelled to contribute something towards humanity. It can be your voice, it can be finances, it can be just, charity work, it can be volunteering, it can come in many different forms. It doesn't matter. It's more important that you listen to your own unique voice and your authenticity and follow through with those things in order to reap the harvests. Now, 11th house is also a very opportunistic house, not in the sense that you only care about opportunities, but that you're able to identify opportunities as they come into your life. You don't take them for granted, and you move in that direction as a part of your goals. Okay, it deals with your friendship, your network, your aspirations as well. It seems like there is some type of growth happening there. All right. Then we have the South Node as well, which says past life, comfort, instinct, resource, familiar, and it also contains your inherent skills and talents that you have gathered from a previous lifetime. Okay, this is the area that you feel very comfortable in. If, let's say, your South Node is in the 11th house, you might find that connecting with friends is coming very easily to you. Now, what happens, the downside of that energy is that you go a little bit too far into the comfort zone and you never put yourself out there in like doing something just for yourself and not for others. Okay, if you don't do anything for yourself, for your sense of creativity, then you feel like you're not growing, and when we don't grow, we don't feel very fulfilled. So that was just an example. I'm not saying you have the South Node in the 11th house, but that was just to illustrate my point. So doing something that is only in the comfort zone is not going to grow you, and if you don't grow, you don't feel good about yourself, right? And I think that's something we see all across the board at any point in time, any generation, any age. That's just something we see. When we ourselves are not able to push forward, we kind of tend to get jealous, bitter, resentful, and many other emotions that don't make us feel like our best selves. So what I'm seeing here is that you know how to identify where you are good at. You also know where you tend to keep yourself boxed in. And there's lots of self-reflection that's going on here. And that is forming a very firm foundation for you to propel yourself from. Okay? When I was saying that, it's easy to get stuck in the comfort zone, right? But we do need some comfort. So it looks like you're creating some type of comfort for yourself. And when you're comfortable enough, then you feel more secure to target and push past certain more difficult aspects that you would not have tackled otherwise. Okay, I'm seeing a very healthy blend of various energies, very powerful as well. Some of you could be esoteric, interested in esotericism, or psychics yourselves, or healers, and you could be sharing your knowledge and your talents with people within your audience. You're also integrating your own experiences into the knowledge you're providing to others, so you can tell people this is where you fall, this is where you're likely to make mistakes. Use this tips and tricks, to make sure that does not happen. Things of that nature. What else is coming through, please? What opportunities are coming in for pile number 1 in the coming 3 months? One more. One more, please. Yes, perfect. We have the Knight of Swords coming up. We had the Six of Pentacles coming next. You're receiving some type of help, but you're going towards a certain aspiration and goal as well. So you're taking some type of initiative, but then you're also receiving a lot of things as you do. We have Eight of Cups, King of Cups. So you're leaving some type of emotional bondage, attachment, subconscious fears, self-sabotaging habits, and you're moving out of a stuck situation. But more so I'm feeling this sense of willpower that is driving you towards these things actually. Even though we're not seeing a lot of fiery cards, I feel as though that's what is pushing you. That's what's pushing the Knight of Swords to really speak his mind, to go do what he really wants to do. And the King of, this is where I was saying, right, you're listening to your intuition very sharp and clear. You're kind of being guided by it. And I feel like you cannot even resist it. Even if you tried, even if you wanted to, you would not be able to resist it because it is so loud and clear in the coming 3 months. You know what you want. You know what would feel good. And with the fish dangling over here that I'm looking at this time, it indicates that there's a journey of prosperity that is about to unfold. Whatever groundwork you've done prior to this point is going to be very beneficial. We have the South Node here, so whatever things you've learned from the past are going to be very important for you in moving towards this new horizon. The Eight of Cups looks like she's moving towards the sun, and you can see that same sun surrounding the King of Cups as a halo. It looks as though it's a journey of enlightenment or clarity, understanding, personal awareness, growth, and cups deal with relationships as well. So you could be embarking upon a healing journey and you're improving your relationship to yourself with certain mentor figures you've had difficult connections with, or you're connecting with your partnership a lot deeper. You might be working through certain ongoing, struggles within relationships as well. And both of you, it seems like an equal contribution here with the Six of Pentacles. Both of you are coming together to make sure that you talk it out, that you deal with the tough stuff, that you don't avoid uncomfortable conversations. You talk it out, you get it over with, and you move on to the next chapter of your life together. Okay? But I feel like the intention is very clear. If there is no give and take, I'm going to do what is right by me. Okay? I will do what my intuition is telling me. I will listen to myself. There's an incredible amount of self-love that I'm feeling here. And because you're forming connections so effectively, you could get a job as well. And you're communicating well, you're connecting well. So it's kind of inevitable that you're forming a great first impression. You are very transparent as well. You're not hiding your flaws. You know what it is that you're dealing with. You know how to heal yourself as well. And you're conveying things in a very, presentable manner. Nothing is coming across too strong or too intimidating or too much of anything here. even though Jupiter is there. We have the 8th house as well, which is kind of a little bit of a tempering effect for Jupiter there. It wants to expand, but not so much that, you can't handle it, or that you will struggle with, dealing with whatever comes next. Now, the King of Cups is a counselor, a therapist, a teacher, philosopher, mentor as well. So if any of these things are of interest to you, you could be exploring more of these topics and expressing more of that to the outside world as well. Six of Pentacles says that you are, again, giving help. It can be, again, charity, volunteer work. It can be through, just your knowledge that you're putting out there. Some work you've done behind the scenes for yourself. You're now like, okay, I'm going to showcase this, and just like that, I just want to express myself. It can be part of your own journey, of course, but it can also be for financial reasons. Either way, there seems to be a lot of harmony and a lot of flow. So that's what I have for you, pile 1. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading helps you out, that it resonated with you. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's get into it and see what's coming up for you in the next 3 months as a blessing, as opportunities and scope for growth and expansion. This can be based on something you've already started, but it can also be something new that comes in. Let's see. Pile number 2, please. What's coming through? There's growth and opportunities in the next 3 months. So we have Change, Make or Make Waves, card number 45, adds up to 9. Then we have Befriend, Word Polarize, card number 25, adds up to 7. Then we have Bravely Market Your Magic, card number 39, adds up to 3. And we have Gratitude again, card number 37, adds up to 1. Okay, so looks like there's going to be some type of change with regard to the types of people that you are attracting into your life. Seems like you are someone who has either a prominent status, or you are a public persona. You have your own business, something like that, or consultations, counseling, private one-to-one connections, collaborations. There is definitely some type of dynamic change. It can be that the type of audience you're attracting is changing, or the types of services you're supplying to your clients are also shifting and changing. The way you're presenting yourself, i.e. your branding and your company persona and things like that, can also be going through a bit of a shift here. All for the better, of course. We do have gratitude again, so you're very thankful about how things are moving, how things are headed, and I think you're very grateful for the types of people you've surrounded yourself with. I'm also hearing that you are going to be encountering people who have different skill sets than what you do. So if you are someone who is quite talented at communicating yourself, but may not be so much about the strategy, you might be hiring someone or working with someone who is a good strategist. So when you bring all of these skills together, it just makes something very wonderful for you. Okay, let's get some more details. Pile number 2, please. What are some changes coming through? Opportunities, growth, expansion in the coming 3 months, please, in the near future. We have Sagittarius. That's definitely a very expansive sign. We have South Node. This came up for pile number 1 as well. Okay, you're working on something that you have already started in the past, and now you're kind of taking it forward. You're expanding. So earlier, if you were more of a local seller, you might be becoming more international. For example, opening yourself up to different environments. We have Aries as well, so you're taking some initiative with 2 red cards, and also the Befriend, the Word Polarize is pretty red, and Bravely Market Your Magic also has a little bit of that tint. Looks like you're working on your stability, security, what makes you feel safe, and also you're utilizing that fire energy as well. So you're taking initiative, you're taking action, you're trying to explore different options as well, whichever makes most sense for you and brings you potential for growth. But you're not being very rigid in how you go about certain things, and I think that's a very wonderful attitude to have, especially when there are some changes happening. Looks like you are the one making the changes, so it's good that you're not being very rigid at this time. What else? Yes, we have the 8th house. This also came up for pile number 1. Very slightly different energies, actually, even though the same cards are coming through. Now the 8th house talks about transformation. It deals with other people's money and your partner's resources, joint efforts and accounts as well. So it can be that you have your own business and you're kind of collaborating with others who are along the same journey, who have similar belief systems as you do, and you're kind of combining your forces to create growth for everybody that is involved. Okay. The strategy that I was mentioning also is an 8th house characteristic. I'm hearing also you're transforming certain fears, or rather, some services you might have, or some efforts that you've already started. You're shifting it in a way that it maximizes the output. Okay, so let's say that, very stupid example perhaps, but let's say you use Excel and you've used it for writing down when was something sold and how much of it was sold, so the quantity, item, pricing, and who took it, and client details and things like that. Okay, but now it seems like you're using the same resource, but you're transforming it in an upgrading manner. So you might start using macros, for example. Okay, and that improves the appearance of it, and you can add some more complex loops behind it to make just give you that extra layer of understanding of what's going on, kind of deepening your perspective on things that you're dealing with here. Your energy levels are also going to shift and change, so your willpower is rising, and you are again being more driven, and your willpower is pretty strong. If there is a will, there is a way, is something I hear. So if you're kind of pushing past any fears and insecurities that have held you back in the past, and that same thing applies for limiting circumstances, and even people who did not have a very good vibe or influence in your life. So you're pushing past that, you're getting laser focused and clear about, this is what would make me happy, and this is what would improve my quality of life, not only for myself but also for the world at large and for the people that I care about. So you're taking action in that regard, and you're making sure that there's that fiery, I will not let anything stop me, that there's that force coming out here in this reading. Now the South Node, it talks about something you're already skilled at, and you don't have to try very much to be good at it. You are naturally, inherently skilled at something, and it becomes your comfort zone as well. Yes, it's a resource, but it can also be something that keeps you stuck because you've already done it. There's no possibility for growth as such. It's just a question of how do you want to channel this reservoir of energy or skill that you have, rather than trying to learn something new in that area of life. So it's a good idea to take what you have already and kind of push it in a new direction. I think you're going to naturally move in that way, but yes, I think that's also coming through. Okay, let's get some tarot cards. In terms of romantic connections, you are likely to get increase your intimacy with your partner. Also, you might be, the opposites attract is kind of apparent. One of you could be Aries or Sagittarius, and the other person the other zodiac. Doesn't have to be the case, but it just is demonstrating that there is passion available for you, creativity as well. And yeah, you can kind of deepen your bond with this person. Even though you guys are opposites, you still have enough in terms of, you know, how you approach the world, how much energy you have. So you know, one person is not active and the other person is lazy. It's not that kind of opposite, but more so, you know, how exactly you channel that fire sign. Okay, so both of you could be pretty passionate and driven, and you have high willpower or adventurous people. But yeah, you might already be connected since past lives as well, but perhaps the way that you are showcasing your skills is going to be different. Okay, so if one of you is more career focused and that's where you showcase your willpower, the other person could be more with regards to, you know, traveling and yeah, such like that. All right, let's see. We have the 10 of Wands coming through. Then we have another 10 with the wheel. 10 and 10. Okay, then we have the Ace of Swords. And we have Justice, which is 11. Okay, so we have 1, 1, 10, 10 adds up to 1, 1 again, and we have 1 over there with 37. So lots of new beginnings coming around here, but the work that you've done in the past is going to create momentum for the change that's coming through. But with the Ace of Swords, it looks like there's some type of breakthrough, an epiphany, or an idea that comes to you that is pretty inspiring. And you want to take the responsibility and take it forward. It kind of ignites something within you, and you have a sense of clarity as well of what needs to be done in order to find balance in your life as well. It looks as though you're pretty, you know, in your judgments and in your conduct, you are pretty fair. All right, with the Justice energy. So even if there are very different people, let's say, working with you or for you, you know how to moderate the interactions, or you know who would be a good fit for whom, and therefore you're kind of bringing about this collective growth for whichever situation you're in. Now, Justice also talks about contracts. So you could be, yeah, going through some type of documentation procedure. Perhaps you're now we do have Sagittarius as well, which deals with, you know, traveling abroad or meeting people from abroad, immigrations and visas, documents which are more official in that way as well. So perhaps you're filing some type of, you know, documentation, you're traveling abroad, you're meeting certain people. The Wheel of Fortune connects with Jupiter, which is the ruler of Sagittarius. You could be learning a new language or a skill that is going to improve your chances of getting a job abroad, let's say, or at least help you get more international when it comes to your business. Now the 10 of Wands says there is a lot of work to be done, and it can feel a little bit, you know, topsy-turvy because it's a little bit tiring, right? I was going to say when I saw these double fire signs that when it goes a little bit too far in that overexcitement, then you know, there's a risk of burning yourself out because you don't recognize the physical limitations of the body, right? Or the emotional capacity that is there. There's just a lot of excitement and, you know, enthusiasm, so it's easy to push yourself too far. But I didn't mention it then because, yeah, I was looking for some confirmation from the tarot. But with the 10 of Wands, yeah, that's coming through. There can be certain changes you're making with regards to how you know, routine your life, your lifestyles, and you might be reading more, you're interacting with more people, and you're kind of delegating more tasks as well, because there's just a lot coming towards you. It can be that you suddenly have a lot of, you know, clients coming about, and you know, it's one of those peak moments and you just need a little bit of help at this time, so you could be outsourcing certain work here. Now in terms of romantic connections, it looks like you're having lots of meaningful conversations. It's not so much about, you know, connecting heart to heart and all of that, but it's something like, this makes sense, you know, opposites attract, we balance each other out, we can have, you know, open, honest conversations, and I think avoid misunderstandings as well by communicating clearly. There's a lot of personal growth as well that you are going through. Aries is, you know, zodiac number 1, and we have so many ones coming about here, and 10 and 10 talks about personal growth and closing out an old chapter through the integration of past lessons. So it looks like you are bringing about this new beginning. but you may not know of it consciously. You just subconsciously attracting certain people and certain circumstances that are shifting you out of an old paradigm and bringing you out into a, new way of being. And it's interesting that I see this downslope over here with the Ten of Wands, but with the Ace of Swords, you're kind of climbing up. So it looks like you're going down a hill, you're going up in another experience, something is coming to a close, and then you're slowly transitioning into, a new way of living and being. So I really like it. It's not like, okay, here you go, this is the end, and then we don't know what's happening. It's more of a continuous ebb and flow. Also, the wheel represents that, but looks like one of those waves that's coming in the 3 months here. You have some phases of, lots of conversations, lots of, activity and all of that, and then you do have some downtime here as well. So your balance is really on point. Okay, of relationships, of energy, whatever you want to see. The Justice card connects with Libra, which is right opposite Aries as well. So perhaps you have Aries, Libra in your chart, where you have a lot of planets, or it could be a rising and descendant signs. Take it as it resonates. Or other air signs with Gemini and Aquarius, but more so I'm feeling, Libra. But that rules one-to-one connections and communicating very clearly. Otherwise, the expectations are not being managed, or there's just too much going on, and it can be, it can fall off balance here. And karmic rewards as well, coming through the past work that you've done, which has not been paid to you, that is also coming about here. You can have a conversation with someone which is very eye-opening as well. It can show you a different perspective on things, and it can be especially insightful here. It feels like there's a lot going on internally, but I think that the internal part has been done. The effort has also been put in, and you're kind of seeing the results of those things over here, and that's the results themselves are leading you towards something new as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading helps you out, that it resonated. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's get into it and see what are some opportunities coming in for you at this time. So let's get into it and see what's coming in for you at this time in the coming 3 months from whenever you choose this reading. Now, these opportunities can be something that you've already started and it's just showing some fruits here, but they can also be new things that are coming in at this 3-month mark. We're looking at the near future, please, for pile number 3. What's going on? What opportunities are coming in? Okay, one more. This one. Okay, let's see. So we have fall in love with your own story. Then we have fill your cup with sacred giggles. This is card number 54. This is card number 21. Then we have 33 with sacred mirrors. And we have befriend the word polarize. Okay, so it looks very connections, friendship, relationship based, that you are attracting people who understand you, and even if they are different, they can kind of see things from your perspective. There's heightened empathy and compassion for yourself, for others as well, and you are also sensing this from other people. I'm also hearing celebration of your qualities, of your personality, and just that like-mindedness and similar belief system. Looks like you are pretty encouraged to speak your mind, to speak your heart, and kind of express it outwardly as well. You're not being judged or criticized, or you don't feel unsafe in this space here. Okay, let's get some astro cards. See what else comes through for pile number 3, please. Well, 4 cards came out all at once. Let's just take it. Okay, we have Sagittarius coming out. Similar belief systems. Yeah, you're meeting up with people who have similar belief systems as you do, and we have house number 9 as well, which is where Sagittarius would sit if you start from Aries being the first zodiac. It doesn't have to be the case, but they share some common themes. The 9th house deals with foreign travel, foreign culture, and things connected with religion, spirituality, belief system, your social conditioning as well. So yeah, it's a pretty broad house where you connect with more people than what you're accustomed to in your local surroundings. And Sagittarius showcases similar themes, but it's a little bit more nuanced than that. It shows more about wisdom and how you integrate your own lessons, and how do you broaden your scope, how you philosophize life, or how do you understand life, things of that nature. So it's pretty broad topics that's coming up here. Then we have the first house, which is about you, your personality, appearance, presentation, your attitude, and how you see the world as well. Then we have the 5th house. The world isn't in a more practical sense over here. There's a little bit of a difference here. With 9th house, it would be more like, what is life after all? Meanwhile, with the 1st house, it's like, what am I in my life, right? It's more personalized like that. And the 5th house as well is a different way of thinking about yourself. It talks about how you enjoy life, how do you express yourself. There's more of a creativity over here, how you're presenting, and your children as well. How do you give birth to ideas or to people, and idea generation as well, connections that you build, what vibe are you creating in people's lives as well. So it does contain dating, romance, and just having a good time, right? Even if it's not a significant other, it can be a group of people, and this is just how you enjoy time, how you enjoy life with your close people. So it looks like you're having more fun than usual, and you're bonding with people on a deeper level. Not that it's like heavily intense or something. If I saw Scorpio, it would be more like you might be in tears, or someone else is in tears, and you kind of connecting with each other based on some experiences or something. But it looks as though over here your experiences are only part of the story. You have learned from them, and you have kind of interacted from that space, and you've kind of moved beyond that. In the 3-month mark, you have integrated the lessons, and you're like, yep, okay, well, don't do that, that's what I learned, or please do that, that's what I learned. And you can kind of share your stories with someone else. Even if you're going on a date, you might find that you have some similar situations that have been in common in your past. Even if you come from different backgrounds or different cultures, there are just some things that you can absolutely relate with one another on, and that itself can be quite inspiring, to kind of hear another perspective. Now, card number 33, and you are pile number 3. I think this has happened before. I don't remember which video it was, but this has happened before. And we have 21 as well, which adds up to 3, which is all about expressing yourself, like speaking your heart and communicating yourself, ascending to another level of how deep can you go in your conversation, how deep can you go in your relationship to yourself and to the people that you care about, how you see yourself in others as well. There's just a perspective shift that is affecting you and how you fit into the world, how you relate with others, and it feels like it's unleashing a different side of you, which allows you to have more fun and brings in more flexibility into your life, as well as some passion. Okay, so let's get to the tarot now. What else is coming through for pile number 3, please? At the 3-month mark, are opportunities, growth. Pile number 3. We're going for 4 cards, please. Okay. Let's see, what did we get? Yeah, see, this is the whole tribe. You have a team, you have a cooperative environment, people are helping each other out. It's not like one person loses, the other people are winners. There's no like competition here. Instead, there's harmony, there's mutual respect and understanding. And everyone has their own strengths wherever you're going here, and whatever people you're involved with. Everyone's a different person, but then you can also kind of take advantage of that difference to put yourself in a better position as well. So if you're working towards a promotion, for example, working with your coworkers is going to help all of you have a better chance at getting your individual wishes rather than, competing with one another. Now, alternatively, this can talk about legalizing your personal business as well, if you have one, or if you have certain things that you're very skilled in, your crafts or such, you are kind of putting that out there. You're finding your people, your platform for it. In order to showcase that, you might find the necessary skill, and you're financing it. You're able to finance it. You are able to find the right people to help you out along your journey as well. But with the first house being there, it seems like you are the one who's kind of deciding that, this is how I'm going to do this. And with the fall in love with your own story, it feels like, let me orchestrate this very beautiful story for myself here. This is going to be my journey. This feels like my journey, something like that is coming out here. Okay, then we have the Nine of Wands, which is persistence is rewarded. Persistence is key as well. But it feels like you have been persistent. This is not something that you're being guided towards, more so that you have been, and now you're going to see more support and collaborative effects kind of coming out here. Defending your turf, kind of standing by and, standing for what you believe in or what you're working on, and knowing your style, being unique and not being afraid to stand out and not being apologetic about that either. Kind of pushing forward, even if there might be some times where you might have felt defeated or disconnected, and kind of tired as well. So with the Three of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, it seems like you're getting some type of reward. Then we have the Knight of Swords and we have the Magician. I was going to point out the Magician energy when we saw the 21 card. So we have that infinity symbol here, and you can see that on his hat as well, which talks about your infinite creative potential. Okay, you can make your reality. That's the thought. And when I say you, it's not just the conscious part of you, it's also the subconscious part, our belief systems, conditioning, and whatever we believe, we kind of end up creating. If you believe life has to be hard, then there will be challenges that come your way. If you feel like, if you believe that you can literally do anything that you want to do, then that's what's going to happen. If you believe that, things just, there is a thing called luck and there are lucky breaks, then so be it, right? So it seems like your words, your thoughts, intentions, and your individual power is creating your own reality. It seems like you have a lot of that in your control, in your hands. The Magician also says that it talks about expression and how you birth an idea into life. How do you work with the resources you have available right now, right here, and make something that you are happy with? It's not always possible to have all of the ideal circumstances presented to you, but that doesn't mean that you need to hold yourself back. That's what the Magician is using. It's using the same elements as we all, engage with: the earth, water, fire, air. There's nothing special that he's trying to create, but at the same time, it's about the idea and how do you kind of tweak all of these elements to make it happen, to make it possible. So I think you're doing something like that, especially with the Three of Pentacles here. Now, the Knight of Swords is a very ambitious person, and he's not caring about what everyone's feelings are going to be, or how do I manicure my words to make everybody happy. He's not concerned with making everybody happy. He's concerned with getting his stuff done, or to communicate what is the truth. It is a sword's energy, so it wants to just do what is true, or do what it thinks is true, rather. Okay, so it seems like there is a fast-paced energy, there's significant movement forward, and you might not have the time to think about, okay, how am I feeling right now? Okay, so checking in with that emotional body might be a little bit hard to come by at this time, but I feel like you're loving it. This is the kind of busyness you've been waiting for, and that it feels easy. It feels very breezy as well. The magician energy connects with Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of the mind, which connects with swords. The swords are all about the wind. Okay, so flying like the wind, moving very fast, but at the same time feeling pretty sturdy and grounded in the whole process. That's, I think, the best balance ever. That's like a dream balance, right? Where you don't feel stretched in either direction. I'm not saying it's going to be just, easy, that you don't have to do anything. You're definitely doing a lot. And at the end of every day, you might feel a little bit tired, but it feels a very, rewarding, satisfying, fulfilling kind of rewarding. And you can definitely spend time with your loved ones, and you're having great fun. You might be traveling abroad as well. The Knight of Swords says you're traveling abroad, or you're, connecting, communicating with people who come from, different places, perhaps different languages as well. And you are kind of effectively interacting with them. You're making some type of impact in people's lives to whichever degree that you are wanting to. Okay, what else? You might be a writer, storyteller, actor, actress, you get it, right? Something like that. You might be working in publishing as well. You find the right team that you can work with, good editor, good publisher, good returns, and your hard work can really be paid off. It's not like you're doing all of the work and everyone else is taking all of the rewards of it. So I think you're finding a good deal here as well. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading helps you out, that it resonated with you. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye. Hi, pile 4. Welcome to your reading. Let's get into it and see what opportunities are opening up for you in 3 months from whenever you choose this reading. So what opportunities of growth, expansion, and opportunities that you've already started, steps you've already taken that are now bringing you something new. So let's see for pile number 4 in 3 months. I'm not feeling my best self. I'm not sure if you can hear it. So I'm not gonna do a very long reading. Just gonna keep it super simple and sweet and concise. Pile number 4, please. Okay, actually, I'll get one more. One more, please. Yes. We have You Are Magic, which corresponds to the Magician energy. Then we have Creator Earth, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. You can have some personal planets in these houses. Doesn't have to be. Then we have Your Soul Shines, card number 34, adds up to 7. And we have Get Back to Elemental, card number 48, adds up to 3. Okay. It seems like you're going to be getting some type of project, or some idea comes to you which utilizes certain skills and resources that you already have. Okay, but it's about using the same things in a creative way that's coming through that can be pretty exciting. If you're a writer, for example, you could be writing something that you've not tried before, a genre you've not tried before. You're still using the same skills, but you're displaying it in a different way. And as you do that, you just feel quite excited about the future prospects as well. But I see that you're being pretty patient and grounded, and you're not rushing the process in any way. You're also being recognized for your gifts, talents, and yeah, you're just being appreciated by the people around you. I think the self-love part as well is pretty high. Gratitude is something I hear. You're practicing gratitude. You might be manifesting. For those of you looking for jobs or increments, and something more relevant to who you are and your natural skills and talents, there can be some opportunities that come about. What else, please, for pile number 4 in 3 months? Okay. First, we have Midheaven, which talks about individuality, career, goals, and public life. We have the moon here as well, with emotion, instinct, and consciousness and mother figure. We have Taurus, which is an earth sign. It's a fixed sign as well, rules, finances, security, self-worth. And we have Chiron, which is about deep insecurity, spiritual strength, and rebirth cycles. So it seems like you are working through some type of fears and you are kind of coming out on the other side by trusting your intuition and just going about the healing process. Anything you've been battling with regards to your financial insecurities or wounds to the self-worth, or to your career and the value that you provide to the world, there's some type of healing going on there. There's a lot of compassion and acceptance that I'm sensing that is a part of the Chiron energy. And it's that acceptance and compassion that makes a big difference in healing our self wounds. It can be the case that you have a moon conjunct midheaven in your 10th house or in the sign of Taurus. Yeah, this of course is more specific, doesn't have to resonate with everyone, but yeah, that's something that's coming through here. And now your relationship with your your mother figure or your emotional connection with finances and self-worth, and your own nurturing instincts, that can be a topic that you're dealing with, because Creator Earth is also about creating something, creating life, manifesting something out into the real world. So you might be looking into becoming a parent, for example, but you might have certain fears surrounding childbirth or bearing, or even raising a child, your own skills, things like that. There are certain challenges that you're getting across, but the challenge is there first and foremost. So it can be something that is you're dealing with right now, or this can be in the near future, but it looks like you are kind of transforming that insecurity or the fear or any other limitation by doing the basic things. Okay, this is not about overcomplicating stuff. It's not about doing crazy crazy anything. It's just doing the minimum to take care of yourself, of your surroundings, of whatever work you're doing, being responsible for those things, just being timely, being present, and basically doing what you can. Okay, and that's what is leading you towards a greater level of satisfaction, and financial gain as well, if that's something you're looking for down the line in the 3-month mark. Okay, what else is coming through for pile number 4, please, at the 3-month mark? We have the Wheel of Fortune coming up. We have the Lovers coming in. Hierophant, 3 major arcanas. One more. One more, please. Okay. What you thought was an opportunity, was a lost opportunity, is not really lost. It has redirected you towards something else that is in your best interests. Okay, 5 of Cups shows when you are disappointed about how things turned out. Perhaps you applied for a job and it did not work out, or you tried to become a parent but it did not work out the first time. But when something doesn't work out, it's really redirecting you towards something that is going to work out for you. Okay, and with the Wheel of Fortune, it says that if you're feeling low, it's not going to last for long. It's going to come back up. It also talks about lucky breaks, opportunities, which we are talking about. Also, it's a Jupiterian energy, so it's about expansion and There is growth in terms of wisdom as well. And the Lovers indicates you could come into a partnership with someone here in order to make certain decisions about, let's say, having a kid or not, or relocating to a different place because you got a different job, for an increment, or yeah, if you're in a business, then a business partnership. Take it as it resonates, but there can be certain partnerships that are coming out here. And even in a romantic sense, you're doing very simple things. You're not trying to complicate things. You're not, putting up many walls and trying to shut people out, or any other things that are not very genuine to how you really feel. I see you being more and more you, and I see you being more liberated as a result of that. For some of you, it can be about legalizing a relationship, so marriage, or registering as partners. I don't know what happens in your country, but yeah, it can be making things more official, increasing your intimacy as well. Now, apart from that, the Lovers talks about choices, some important choices you're making, where you don't necessarily want to go back from that choice. Okay, so it looks like you might be making a decision about, switching up the way that you present yourself to the world in terms of your status, what you do, who you are, how you contribute to the world, what you teach, what you've learned, contributing your own wisdom, the experiences you have gathered through life. Perhaps you're helping others out through that. There are some important conversations you can be having here as well, which are going to have some long-term impacts too. But I see all of these really happy and kind of in peace type of cards. Apart from the Five of Cups, yes, but you can see that behind the lady, she has this very colorful cup over there. It's just that she has not taken note of it yet, and she's still in a grieving process of something, and she's still saying goodbye to certain things that did not work out. And you know what? Go through your process, okay? It's kind of ridiculous to say, okay, well, stop being upset, get going, because everyone has emotions, and we all have different processes and different timings as well. So respect your own for sure. And if you need to mourn something, sure, go ahead, but remember that there's a lot of beauty that is waiting for you on the other side, and that you've not lost anything that is supposed to be for you. Okay, so I think you're recognizing that opportunity, and you're making some important choices in order to, stay on the true path, not get distracted by anything or anyone, and respect your own wishes. And I feel like once you see this cup, you're not going to unsee it. Okay, once you know, you can't unknow. It's that type of energy. Some important switch is happening here for you. Can be within relationships as well, of course. If you're just dating, this can be, you're having a conversation, an important conversation with someone, and you are kind of discussing your beliefs, your long-term goals and visions, and there might be certain things that have not worked out in the past. You might be discussing those topics of, when I brought this up with my previous partner, it did not go the way that I thought it would, and then you kind of bond on that, or it just improves your intimacy overall, because there's more vulnerability here. By the way, vulnerability as well as a part of Chiron's journey. Wherever it is, we feel a little bit vulnerable. We don't want to open up, or we don't want to talk about it, we don't want to see it, and things like that. We tend to shun that area wherever Chiron is in your chart. But the way to deal with it is, which is also not that easy, I feel, but it needs more love and acceptance. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be insecure. We're not made of metal. We're not made of steel. So it's okay to be vulnerable, and the presence of Chiron in our birth charts essentially teaches us that you can't just heal everything and be perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. There's a little bit of imperfection that makes everything perfect, and we need to start loving that part of ourselves, right? So I think you're seeing the beauty in the things that have not worked out or difficult circumstances you've been through, the changes and switches that are happening now, and I think you're just grateful for every little thing at this point. So it's not one opportunity that's coming in here, it can be a million, it can be your whole life changing as a result of this, because your perception is shifting. You might also feel more connected with the divine, okay, with your own divine self, with the divine itself, and you're stepping more into that creator role. You're utilizing the skills you have. You're able to see yourself more clearly as well. And I think you're communicating yourself more clearly to others. Whatever bonds you're trying to form here, seems like there is a deepening of those connections. Now, for those of you in a teaching, educational, or a religious institution, there is some type of ascension here, or you're again making some important choice of switching up, how you demonstrate your knowledge or your wisdom. It can also be changing the way that you yourself connect with the divine, right? And that is going to then again have some long-term impacts on how you present yourself, how you convey yourself, and how you feel in the world as a whole. Okay, emotional rebalancing is something I hear. Now the Hierophant also corresponds with the Taurus energy. 3 times we're getting Taurus. You could have that as your sun, moon, or rising sign. Let me clarify the 5 of Cups, please, for pile number 4. Yeah, there can be certain disappointments with like family members or certain traditions you might have, long held beliefs that maybe you don't agree with, and you realize that, okay, well, this is something that has been, stopping me from improving my relationships or connecting deeper with the partner that I'm with. And it's not going to be a good idea to continue on that journey, and it might make you feel a little bit sad, like why did it have to be this way or something like that. But yeah, it's an important process to first recognize and be aware of what the concern is. Yeah, okay, and through that, after the awareness, you're making some type of choice, and you're kind of just evolving from that point. There's not much else to say, but that you're kind of improving from a point, but there's a groundedness to this with all the Taurus energy. You are practical, you're methodical, you're doing things step by step, you're not rushing any process. Yeah, and that's kind of improving your overall quality of life. Okay, so that's what I have for you, pile 4. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the reading helps you out, that it resonated with you, that it was insightful. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.